today we have Jazmin Sykes in the Creative Den Pod. She is the owner of Creative Beauty. She is making her way and leaving a mark in the beauty industry, empowering women about what true beauty is all about. You created to be you, to love and to embrace everything God created you to be. Thank you for being on the pod. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good. Welcome to the podcast, to the Creative Den. Yeah, about 6-7 months ago, I heard about you from my wife. She sat in your chair and she came home and she told me about Creative Co. and what it is that you're doing. And she was like, you need to get it on the pod. I was like, okay. Well, we were just starting. We hadn't even done the first episode yet.
Yeah. I remember her telling me that.
Yeah, and she was just like, she was raving and just raging about who you are and about the things that I guess you shared on the chair with her. And I think that's what God is doing within you. So tell us a little bit about what it is you're building, Created Beauty Co.
So I have a makeup company called Creative Beauty Co. And I have been in this industry. Well, I've been building my business for 8 years.
Nice.
So I have a little studio in Chandler and I've been there for 8 years. And I literally just do makeup on women, all kinds of events. So I do weddings, I do lessons, I do makeup classes, I do it all. So that's what I've been doing for the last few years.
Nice. That's really cool. So 8 years ago you started. How was that? What made you get into it?
So, okay, taking it way back when. So my mom would always buy makeup at the MAC counters, makeup counters, and I would always go with her. So this particular moment, I think I was in 6th grade, and this is when MAC was it. It was the business, you know? I don't know if you know.
Yeah. I've heard of Mac.
Yeah. So I was so intrigued by the makeup artist. And I told my mom, I'm like, I'm going to be a makeup artist one day and I'm going to work at MAC. And she's like, okay. And after that, I started like watching YouTube. Before YouTube was even a thing,
Right.
I started watching YouTube. And I watched this woman named NC40. And she was phenomenal. And I would literally just watch her videos and practice on myself. And it came so natural to me. So when I would do it on myself, I was like, hold up, I think I got something here. And I would practice on my mom. I would practice on my friends. And they were like, Jazmin, you're actually pretty good. And I was like, I think so too. So I started doing makeup on my friends. Word got out. I started doing proms, homecomings, and then word got out even more. And I got hired to do my very first wedding when I was 16 years old.
Oh, wow.
So I'm born and raised in Los Angeles. So I did my first wedding in Carson. I went to her house for a bridal trial and went to her hotel and I did her wedding, and I did about like 13 women. And I remember leaving there with like $412 or something like that. And I was like,
lit.
I'm rich. Just kidding. And as a 16-year-old girl making that in a day, I was like, this is what I want to do. And I just remember feeling just so happy that I was able to do something that I loved and I was able to make money from it, you know? So I was like, this is what I want to do. So I got hired with MAC when I was 18 years old at De La Mama in Torrance. And the lady who was hiring me, I was in the process of getting hired. She got fired, and the store wasn't able to continue on with the people who she was hiring.
Gotcha.
So it was totally God, because 6 months after, or a couple months after that, I moved to Arizona, and I ended up getting hired at the MAC store in Scottsdale Fashion Square 6 months into me moving here.
Nice.
So, and I was 19 years old. So that's my whole story.
So you worked for Mac.
I worked
like
for Mac.
you said you were going to.
Yep.
Yeah, 5-6 years. Oh, that's really cool. So now 19 working at Mac, but now fast forward years later, you're building a business.
Yep.
Creative Beauty Co.
Yep.
But it is more than makeup, I believe.
For sure.
Because even though you did my wife's makeup, the way she came home was as, we're planning like a family shoot that we're doing. But she came home on fire, because of some of the words that you have spoken on her, or about her, as you were applying the makeup. So this is for women. You help them feel beautiful on the outside, but you also try to reach them on the inside.
For sure.
How do you do that?
So I honestly just organically, I don't go in there with like any intention. Well, I mean, I do have an intention to be used by God, but before I go in to meet with my clients or go do weddings, I ask God, like, okay, Lord, how do you want to use me? Do you want me to encourage? Do you want me to love? Do you want me to just be myself? Like, what do you want me to do? And in my industry, I never want to just come out and just like, boom, Jesus. Do you get what I'm saying?
For sure.
Like, I truly feel like it has to be in a way where I can reach anybody. You know what I mean? Of just being my authentic self. So I just literally fill it out and I just talk to my clients, and I'm like a therapist. I feel like makeup artists and hairstylists are literally therapists.
For sure.
So I just listen, and I'm literally in my mind, I'm literally like, okay, God, like, what do you want me to say? Like, what do you want me to do? Or, and I just encourage. I just literally speak from my heart and speak to who they are. Regardless of the story that they're telling me, I see the inward. I see them as who God made them to be. So I speak to that. You know what I mean? So I just encourage, love, whatever it may be, whatever I feel like they need. And I just call that out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm just genuinely myself and just somebody who loves God and who loves his people. So that's just how I do it.
That's cool. And you're really good at what you do. I've gone through your page and seen some of the work that you do. I'll ask you this question. I don't know if you've ever been asked this question, but do you feel like, or do you think the beauty industry has done harm to women, in the way women see themselves, or would you put that on the individual person?
It has definitely made an impact, like in a negative way, where you have to look like this, you have to have a body like this, you have to have like this designer, you have to do this. And it's not about any of that. You know what I mean? So I feel like how God created me, I just want to truly let people be themselves when they're with me. You know what I mean? And like speak to that. Am I answering the question? I don't know if I'm answering the question right. So I feel like the beauty industry has definitely made it like negative, for sure. So this is where people of God who come in to literally like reroute it, because it has definitely gone in a negative way, for sure, especially with social media and Instagram and Facebook, all the things.
Yeah. That's going to be my next question is, how is it portrayed on Instagram and Facebook and social media? Like, because we are dealing with an epidemic with how kids and youth see themselves and what it is they're watching, feeling like they are inadequate in whatever it is that they're doing. Does it translate to even beyond the beauty side of things?
I think that social media 100% has made it like horrible, but I feel like it's deeper than like how kids are receiving that and how kids are acting in the world today, because I feel like what matters is what happens in your home. You know what I mean? Like how your mom carries herself, how your dad carries yourself,
for sure,
how they raise you and speak life to you and show you that you are like made by God. So having that security and knowing who you are, like doing that in your home will help from what's happening in the social media and being like drowned in it, because I feel so bad for these kids who don't have parents who are speaking life to them and telling them the truth and telling them who they really are and teaching them the opposite of the world, of what the world is teaching them. So they're going in there looking for validation in social media and all of the things. So I think that what the biggest thing would be like what happens in your home. And that's why it's so important that me as a mom, I'm like totally shifting gears here.
Nah,
But
that was gonna be my next question. I was gonna go. You have 2 kids. Let's go right into it. Yeah.
So like me, I really want to follow God even more and really get healing in my heart with so many things that I, wounds that I have, because I want to free my kids from having to go through that. You know what I mean? So like truly knowing who you are, loving who you are, and being secure, and all of that is what's going to really help women grow up in this world.
Yeah.
By their mom.
Yeah.
By their dad. So to me, I feel like that's just so important to me, to truly, Lord, make a way, like cleanse me so I could, be the best model that I could be for my children, and speak to who they are, to raise them up to like be able to conquer this crazy world and social media, and not feel like they need validation from that.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
It starts in the home, It starts with, I have 2 kids of my own, and just watching my oldest daughter, she sometimes when I'm in here just working, she'll walk in here, sit on the chair with the mic, starts like, because she has seen me do that. And so they emulate and they do the things that they watch, and the things that they see, like all the people that they look up to actually do. So, and I have this framework of the first thing we see God as is as a creative being, because the first thing he did was to create. So therefore, we are creative. I think everyone is creative. Totally. It's either you know it or you don't know it just yet. At some point you're gonna figure it out. I'm even coming up with the 5 to 7 types of creatives that we might fall into, based on our personality types and things like that. If we are walking in our creativity, then we are being more like God. Then, and so, yeah, I don't know why I shifted into that, but I did.
I'm like, I don't know if I'm answering the questions right, but like.
Yeah, it is good. It's good. So let's go into your why in this industry. Like, why are you doing what you're doing?
Oh my God. I have like 4 whys, to be honest. So, one of my whys is that I truly want to help. Okay. And I don't know if you follow the Enneagram, if you know anything about the Enneagram, but
Not really.
So I'm a 2, which is a helper. I love that. You should take the test to see what you you are. Okay, so I'm a helper, so I love to help people. So as it could be a makeup artist, an aspiring makeup artist, an everyday woman, like truly, I just want to help in whatever way I can. So all the things that I've learned, the things that I'm doing, I just want to pour it out, and I want to share it and help other people, succeed, or, learn how to do their makeup, because there is a difference when women have their makeup on, when you get that haircut, when you get those lashes on, you walk different. Your confidence is there. So I want to help women feel confident, feel secure. So helping in any way that I can is truly what I want to do. 2 is, another why of mine is, I have 2 daughters, and like I said before, I want them to truly do whatever they want to do, and look at me one day and be like, Mommy, did this, and she worked hard, and but she loved God so much and loved us so much, and she taught us how to be secure in who God made us to be, and they can do whatever they want, so that is what, because they're girls, they want to do anything beauty, so that's the number 2. And another why is, I was raised in LA, single mother, grandparents, immigrants from Mexico. And my grandparents sacrificed a lot for them to come here and have their children here and then have their grandchildren here. And I don't want their sacrifice to be wasted.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
you're second generation?
I'm second generation. So my mom and my dad are first generation, and I'm second generation. And I don't want it to go wasted. I didn't really grow up with much. My mom was a hard worker, try to give me everything that, she possibly could. She did well. But I want to create generational wealth for my family and their kids and their, I truly want to say thank you to my grandparents and, do something with their sacrifice with that, and then fourth is, the most important one is my natural gift that God has given me. I want to use it for his glory, not because we're not just born to be here and then die and turn into dust. Like there's a purpose why there are humans,
for sure,
and why we're in this world. So I'm like, Lord, thank you for my gift of makeup. How can I use it to glorify you? How can I use it to reach your people, your women that I meet?
Right.
Meet every single day.
That's good.
So those are my whys.
That's good.
I have a lot of whys.
I know, those are good.
I may have another few in there too. But
those are good because even taking your talent, taking your gift and using it to glorify God, it gave you that gift, And seeing from Matthew 26, of the gift of the talent, the guy that was given 1, 2, and 5. The guy that did nothing with it, that talent was taken away from him and given to the one that had the most, not the other one that was like 8. So we're given accordingly to what God feels like would actually use that gift. Truly. So whoever has the most gift is because God believes that person is going to go hard on that gift, and the more they use that gift, the more they acquire, and the more they acquire, more is required of them, And
there's no easy way out.
There is not. Like, just buckle up and get strapped in, get ready for the work, because it is work. It's hard work.
For sure.
Yeah. So I saw a video you posted. I think you were talking about something. Do you know how to like apply your makeup or something like that?
Makeup is very personable. So it's not a one size fits all. So that's why I love teaching and having one-on-one sessions with my clients, because every skin type, every skin tone is different. So depending how your skin is, depending on your skin tone, is what products I recommend for you to use. So there's no the formula is I need to know your skin and I need to see what color skin tone you are, undertone, and what your everyday life is like. So then I could create a look for you that I know that you can actually recreate, and it's not going to be horrific and so hard for you to create,
Sure. Yeah, no, that's good. So you educate them in some kind of way on how to go back home and put on the thing that it is that day. Okay. So you have a workshop coming up really soon here. This episode would have played after the workshop. Do you have another workshop in the future coming up?
Yes.
After this one tomorrow.
So I am in the works of doing a masterclass for makeup artists and aspiring makeup artists. So I will be doing that within the next couple of months.
Nice.
So I'm really excited about that. Last year it did really well. So I'm excited to put it on this year. So stay tuned.
Yeah, that's really cool. So masterclass, teaching people, really just utilizing every ounce of gift that you do have. Tell us a success story about a client that you have. You don't have to say the name or whatever, that came to you and was like, hey, I really need help in this area. How did you help them?
It's hard to pick just one. So I feel like I can't just pick one. I'm like, because I feel like I have created such great relationships with my clients just one meeting. But yeah, a lot of the times I have multiple women come in where, they don't like their skin. They have rosacea or they have acne prone skin.
Rosacea. Let's pause there. What is that?
Rosacea it's this pigmentation that's on your face that is just red, that just does not go away, and it could seep through anything, even if you wear makeup. If you, it could be shown all day, every day, and it just does not go away.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So there are certain types of makeup that really do cover that. But you just have to be strategic on like where you place blush, what you know, how do you apply this, so then you could cover it up seamlessly. So
Well, I just learned something
you
new
learned
today.
something new.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I have one specific where she came in and she was so broken, like truly. And she started opening up to me about her whole life. Okay. And I felt so bad for her. And I wanted to cry with her, to be honest, because I was like, dang, like she is going through it.
Yeah.
And I literally just taught her a makeup look. She absolutely loved it. She was so excited to be there. It was like her getaway because she was just going through so much. And before she left, I asked to pray with her because after she showed me, she shared with me her entire story. I was like, girl, I need to pray for you. Okay. Yeah. And she totally let me pray for her. And mind you, I just finished doing her makeup. Tears down, like wailing. And I was like, please, Lord, do not let her make me ruin because we just did this for 2 hours. I was teaching her a class, so that's why it took forever. But no one, everything was fine, okay? But she left feeling so loved and seen. And that's all. That's all I want my clients to feel, is that they're seen and that they are important, you know? Yeah. And literally to this day, we are friends.
Nice.
We follow each other on Instagram. We meet up, like, you know, created relationships from just being real.
Now that's really good because something that you said is she was seen, you know, and I feel like that's what people want, to be known, to be loved, to be seen. And I think that's important for even just creatives in general, because I feel like that's my battleground is with creatives. I lead a team of 5 different creatives and 5 different creative styles and designers, videographers, apparel designers, live production, photographers, and things like that. But we all have different creative styles. But the one thing that every creative needs is to be seen, to be known, to be loved. That people even just need. And so that's important that you said that, and that's really cool that you were able to help her, you know, through whatever it is that she was going through. So, yeah. So let's shift gears a little bit.
Okay.
Let's dive into your business side of things.
Okay.
What is an important lesson that you've learned when building your business?
This is a good one because I was thinking about this one. My biggest lesson that I've learned in business is truly knowing who you are and being secure. And let me share why.
Oh, yeah.
So when people would ask me, like, what do you do for a living? And I would get so insecure because I'm like a makeup artist, you know? And when I would do weddings and there was like mother of the bride or whoever was at the weddings, they would be like, oh my God, so like, is this your hobby? You know, do you do this for fun? Is this like your side job? Like, what does your husband do?
Yeah.
And I used to be like, what? You know, because my heart, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I have worked so hard. Like, you know, and people who don't know the beauty industry, don't know makeup, you know, about makeup artists, hairstylists, they don't know that they do very well for themselves.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, but I've learned that from that, I was trying to like overly explain and like, what's the word? Like trying to make myself sound like valued. Do you know what I'm saying? So I was like, then it sounded arrogant because I'm over here like, oh yeah, I do this and I do that. And yeah, I'm like a makeup artist, you know, and that's such a turnoff for people. For sure. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it was coming from an insecurity of not truly being secure and no, Jazmin, you are a makeup artist and that is the gift that you have, and own it. And who cares what people think? Who cares what the judgments that they may have or how they view you or whatever? So I had to learn to embrace what I do. And who cares if people don't know how much money I'm making or whatever.
For sure.
Like, I had to learn that my security wasn't in what I do. It was who God says I am.
Yeah.
And how I'm created,
Right.
So I really had to learn that. And I always felt like I was a confident person. So I was like, wait, maybe I'm lacking a little insecurity in this area. So when I went to Forward event, which is an amazing event for entrepreneurs, there was about like 1,000 entrepreneurs.
Nice.
And I was in a room full of 7-figure, entrepreneurs, billionaires on stage. Like, truly, it was an amazing weekend. And it was funny because so many people that we know when you're networking, they're like, oh, what do you do? Like, what, company do you work for? And agency, does that? So it was mostly real estate people. I was like, I'm a makeup artist. And they were like, what? What are you doing here? Like, what? And I was probably, honestly, the only makeup artist there. Probably the only beauty industry person there. And I was like, I'm here to learn. I'm here to learn and expand my mind and change my business and the where it's going. I want to take it up a level. I want to change the industry. Like, I want so much more, but I need to be in places so I can learn. So and from that, oh my God, they had so much respect for me. They're like, dude, good for you that you're putting yourself in these situations and these places, surrounding yourself with people. So I would say that absolutely that was a challenge that I had to learn in business, of being secure.
We did a pod earlier, a couple months ago, about who you are versus what you do. Those are two different things.
Totally.
But they also work together. Totally. Who we are, because every time someone says, okay, so who are you? A lot of people start with what they do. Because some people don't know exactly what it is that they are and what it is that they have to offer, or just their value in life. But when we are who we are and we're doing what it is that we're called to do, we're truly walking in our destiny. Truly. I believe that when your passion and your calling collide together, that's your destiny. You're walking what exactly God called you to do.
And that's what everybody wants.
Yeah. And it's hard sometimes because everyday life, hits people in the head, and you have to figure out, like, how am I gonna pay for this? How am I gonna do this? And maybe growing up, I believe that the destinies and the gifts and the talents were placed in people's hearts from when they were kids.
Oh, for sure.
And a lot of things just happens in this world, and we have to fight through that to really get to the place that God really created us, to be.
For sure.
And that's kind of like why I wanted to start this part when I said some people feel insecure, about leaving their house, or they don't have the confidence to do so, because that's something that I believe, from conversation that we've had today, is that's definitely one thing that God has deposited within you to help walk, or to help other women walk through, and sometimes that thing is probably something that you have to deal with growing up as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, to deal with the lack of confidence, the insecurity, like you mentioned as well. And then now you're able to help other people walk through it.
Oh, 100%.
Right.
We could go real deep into all of this, but I'm like, we're going to hold back tears. We're not going to, go.
I'm trying to see if you'll be the second person to cry on this pod.
No.
Just kidding.
No. Yeah, it's deeper. Makeup is just a cherry on top.
Yeah.
It's what really matters is what's on the inside.
For sure.
Truly. Like who you are. The character. You can't change character. You can change makeup. You can dress yourself up, but you can't change who you are. You know what I mean? Unless you allow the Lord to come in and clean you out.
For sure.
You know what I mean? But, so yeah.
Your character, right? Let's go with the gift of the Spirit. Do you love people? Are you patient? Are you kind? Are you gentle? Are you actually here to help other people. When you build in a way and build things with the talents that God has given you, you actually reach a level that other people attain to be in. It might not be, I mean, obviously God is going to take care of people financially when you're ready to actually take care of it or handle it, but it might not just be financially, but you're going to level up in so many other ways.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So you've been creating content with your business, using video, using pictures and some graphics that you do to grow your business. How did you get started doing that? Because it comes off as natural and authentic on your stories and things that you're posting. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So this year, well, last year, like, I kept feeling like a nudge to like, Jazmin, you need to level up, girl. You need to level up, And I remember writing down on a piece of paper, I wrote down every desire that I had for that year.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote down, I need to be in contact with Omar Altakori.
Mm.
I want to do this. I want to reach this and do this, but I want to focus on my business for one entire year.
Gotcha.
I put that. Okay. And my best friend, Sasha, she lives in Vegas and she goes to City Light Church.
Mm-hmm.
And Omar is one of the pastors there. And that is how I even knew about him. And she has been telling me since she's been there, like, you need to be in contact with Omar because, so I wrote it down. And I've been following Omar for a little bit, and he posted something about like having an inner circle school where he will literally coach you in taking your social media to the next level on how to build your personal brand, all of these things, right? And I was like, totally, wanted that. So I reached out to him. His people called me, set up an interview, and I guess there was like 200 people like on the interview. And there was only like 30, 40 spots. Mm-hmm. They called me back and they're like, it's a year program. Do you want to sign up? And I was like mind blown because I literally just told the Lord, I want a year, all this. And I did it. And honestly, he has helped me so much with everything. Yeah. So I meet up with him weekly with the whole, school. Mm-hmm. And I invested in getting a good camera. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Gotcha.
And I got like little mics and, just trying to level up. And it's funny because I posted just one video and everybody was like, what are you doing? What camera are you using? And this and that. And I'm like, oh, you guys see this. But it makes a huge difference.
That's the thing with quality, right? Quality, like people are going to be like, oh, there's something different with that.
Yeah, quality is big.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wanted to level up. I invested. I'm going to these, seminar things and just truly investing and growing. That's literally it. So that's how and I'm still learning. So I'm literally like, help me, Akin.
I got you. Hey, we're here. We're in the same state. Yeah. Whatever you need, like, let us know. Shout out to Omar though, because I watch his content too. Like it's growing, doing great things. In Vegas, and I literally watch almost every podcast that he puts out, and that helps me
totally
as well. I say he is my YouTube coach, and just watching him actually helps me with what I'm doing today as well. So
he's a genius.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I like his stuff. So posting content, creating stuff, you're growing your business, you've seen the ROI already, I would assume, and just continuing to level up in every area that you can. What would you tell, like just people that are watching this today, either from, let's do two. I'll do two. From a makeup confidence perspective, what would you tell them? Like, hey, this is my blanketed statement to you today.
For people who just want to learn makeup?
Like, I guess we could do three. People that want to be confident when they put on makeup.
Like security, that's my main thing, is knowing who you are. That is what is beauty. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There's not any makeup out there that's gonna like fill that void, fill that emptiness. You know what I mean? Like, when you truly know who you are, you walk differently, you talk differently, you carry yourself differently, and that's where true beauty comes from.
Right.
So
That's good.
get healing.
Get
You know what I
inner
mean?
healing.
Truly get healing.
For
Like,
sure.
there's a lot of things that women, I'm only speaking on women because I'm a woman, but there's so many things that us women go through, like in our upbringing, how we were raised by parents, how, you know, our friendships, all those things. And there's a lot of wounds that has happened. I mean, that we have because of life.
Yeah.
So we want to clear the air. And that's why I'm so big on like getting healing from so many things and just rising above all of those things and those obstacles and truly just finding truth and security in who God made me to be, and then soar, because everything else will come after that. You know,
that's good. That's good. Find inner healing. That's good. People might be sitting there, why is this guy talking to a lady about ladies stuff, you know? and I'm sitting here trying to figure out a clever answer. But the truth of the matter is, number one, my wife told me I need to have you on, and I try to listen to what my wife says. And number two, you're building something, and I like having conversations with people that are building. You know, whatever it is, in whatever level that you're building. I love those conversations, especially those that are creative, you know, minded in the way that they go about it. Because I've been a creative my entire life. That's the one thing that I could say. I've always done this, you know, something creative, whatever it is. From dancing to singing to acting to being in the choir to playing music to photography to, you know, drums and X, Y, and Z. Now video and building my business based off of the talents that I do have. So I like having conversations with people like that. And I appreciate you for coming on. I said we're going to do 3. So the second one is, what would you say to someone that does want to be in the makeup industry, beauty industry, as far as like doing it? Yeah.
Do it. Humble yourself and learn from your favorite makeup artists. Follow people, local artists or any artists that you love, and learn from them.
Yeah.
And continue learning, never stop learning, and just like put yourself out there and start doing makeup on people, your friends, for free, and just practice. Practice makes perfect. So really just getting in there and filling it out and learning skin and textures and, you know, all things beauty.
Yeah.
Just learn. And
good.
don't be afraid to step out.
Yeah.
Because if it's for you,
right.
If the calling is over your life, if you take a step, the Lord will lead you to the next step.
Yeah.
So it's like, just
it's
go.
Like one step at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll add this to it. This is for anyone that wants to start anything. Just do it. Just go. Start walking. Start learning. Start growing. Start building. It's gonna take a while. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's gonna take a while for you to get there. But you want to start now. You don't want to start 2 years from now, because if you start 2 years from now, you're making that process even longer.
Yeah.
You know, so start today.
It's the longevity.
Yeah.
It's not like you're trying to like work just to like make it, or like do it for the long run.
For the long run.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. You said 8 years you've been in business. I've been in business for 8 years as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I started in 2016.
Wow.
I purchased a camera without knowing what I was doing. I said I'm jumping into this, you know, because I was teaching dance. I was dance instructor at a studio for 6 years, and I started filming my own dance videos. So I was
What kind of dance?
Hip hop, you know, yeah. And then I wanted to just film my videos, so I started like learning how to use a camera. So when I got to a point where if I'm doing this for myself, I could probably help other people and do it for other people. That's when I bought my camera, registered my LLC, did the whole thing, and we've been running since then. And I feel like I am barely scratching the surface. I just feel like I'm like, there's still many levels.
I know. Oh, I know.
Yeah. So
I know. I feel the same way.
Yeah. So start today. That's
Yeah.
why. The
And
third,
it doesn't matter
yeah,
about followers.
not at all.
It does not matter about any of that,
Yeah,
of what social media, like, portrays,
yeah,
because like the seminar that I just went to, they're like, I met somebody who has like 1,200 followers, and they have so much business and make like 400,000 a year.
right.
So it's like,
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
doesn't matter.
It does not matter.
Like,
Just
will it?
put in the work.
Yeah,
And if you're doing it right, you'll be good.
you'll be good. Yeah, we live in an age where everyone thinks your follow count
Yeah.
actually matters. It really doesn't. It's like you're gonna impact a lot of people, yeah, through social media, but you're also gonna impact a lot of people just being, close to you, being next to you, the stranger that you might walk, in the grocery store, and are you actually able to say hi to that person, or do you just pass by? You're gonna impact a whole bunch of people. So scratch the whole social media thing and build your business. Yeah, that's good. So now the third person you're going to speak on is, I guess we've been talking about it, but actually, what would you say to just be business owners? You're building something, you want it to be a legitimate business. What would you tell them?
There are no shortcuts. You got to put in the work every day. Success is every day. Consistency is key.
Yeah.
So I'm learning.
Yeah.
Is be consistent every day, because that's how you build trust with people.
For sure.
You can't just pop in one day and then be off for 5 days. Like, you need to be consistent, for sure. And be yourself. People can smell fakeness from a mile away. Just people are actually hungry for authenticity because of social media. Because social media seems and portrays everybody's perfect, everybody's so rich, everybody goes to all these fancy vacations, and it's like people are yearning for like the person who's going to show like a dirty house and like, yeah, I have dark circles underneath my eyes and like my hair looks like this or whatever. Like, people are yearning for authenticity. So just be yourself.
Be you.
Be you. Put in the work every day.
Yeah.
Longevity.
That's good. Back to that statement. You're created to be you.
Created to be you.
Yeah.
Truly.
That's good.
Nobody else.
That's good. To love and to embrace the person God has created you to be.
That's right.
That's good. Where can people find you?
People can find me on Instagram.
In these streets, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, in these streets. At Created Beauty Co. I currently live in Gilbert, Arizona, but I am born and raised in Los Angeles, so I do a lot of work in LA, do a lot of work in Vegas too. Anywhere beauty needs, I am there.
That's cool. That's really good. Gilbert, have you tried Salt and Straw ice cream?
Yes, I have.
In San Diego?
No,
I don't
in
know.
downtown Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're
They
just building
built
one around the corner
It
from my
opened
house.
today. Shout out. I was going to make the drive, but maybe one day.
Well, you know what? It's going to take you an hour and 20 minutes, okay?
I'm going to do that eventually. But thank you for being on the podcast. I appreciate you for blessing us with your talent and your time. We're going to keep you in prayer and everything that God is doing in your life. I think you have definitely something God has put within you to impact women.
For sure.
And to climb and to destroy just certain ideologies about
100%.
the beauty industry and how people actually think that they're beautiful. It's not just the outward appearance, it's also the inner work that needs to be done. So thank you for the time. Thank you for what you're doing. And
thank you to your wife.
Yeah.
I just sitting on that for a second.
Yeah.
You don't ever know who's in your chair.
For sure.
So you always do everything in excellence and you serve people.
Yeah.
You serve people well, because look at that.
Yeah.
I would have never been able to sit here if it wasn't for your wife. How did your wife find me? I think through Instagram.
Probably, yeah. Through Instagram, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I followed you from then.
Yeah.
I was just a quiet follower for 6 months because I like to know what people are about before I ever bring them on, So I just watch from a distance. And then when I felt like, okay, you are about what you're doing, and that's when I sent the message and said, let's have this conversation. So here we are.
Very honored. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. If you're watching this and you're listening to this and you still feel like, hey, there's something missing, just know that you're not alone. There's people out there that want to see you be who God has created you to be. So find that support, find that confidence to do the inner work that is required of you, because it is going to be work. It's not just going to happen. It's not a happenstance thing. It is work that needs to be done. So let's do it. And like we like to end all these episodes, you're created to create something, so go create.